I've had 30 seconds to recover from the shock, and my heart is still pounding! And whoa! I thought for a minute that I might regret it, but thankfully nothing of the sort happened. I was pretty sure it would survive because that Magikarp in the last video did survive a Swift, so I figured this one would do it as well. Let's see if it's going to live in a Premier Ball for the rest of its life. Yes! My first ever random shiny in this LP series. Sadly, it's a Magikarp, but it evolves at least into a rather strong Pokemon, and note that I'm saying it's a random shiny, which excludes the Gyarados from Crystal. And not too long after that shiny, I've just found a Feebas tile, and lo and behold, this one is female. This is exactly what I wanted, because this one is going to be part of a breeding chair to get a Feebas with Hypnosis, and yes, splash all you want. It knows Tackle, why isn't it using it? Anyway, I guess I'm gonna use Rock Smash because I don't know what Strength could do, so I'm not gonna take any chances. I'm gonna go with Rock Smash. Oh, we got some hacks here, though it's a 50% chance of hacks, so I don't know if it still qualifies as hacks. So another Rock Smash should put it deep into the yellow. That's enough. Another Rock Smash would kill it, so let's entrap this one into a Pokeball too, even though I'm never going to fight with it. It's only part of a breeding chain, as I said, and a yes! One shiny and one Feebas, and I only needed 2 balls to catch both of them combined. So with that done, there is nothing left to do but beat up the rest of the trainers on this route. There's also going to be some Team Aqua action at the Weather Institute that's further up this route. But for now, let's just get there, shall we? So, I finally found a shiny Pokemon. That is not, of course, a forced shiny encounter like that Gyarados in Crystal. So I wouldn't say I was pretty sure this would happen, because still, it's finding a shiny. You got a 1 in 8,192 chance of finding one, but finding a Feebas tile requires so many rolls of the dice that eventually you're bound to get a shiny sooner or later if the search drags on and on and on like it just did. And I only looked into about half of the tiles in that watery area before actually finding a Feebas tile. What I did personally was that I fished up 4 or 5 Pokemon off each tile with the good rod, because the old rod only gives Magikarps, and I wanted to have some variety to relieve the tragic boredom of fishing and fishing and fishing. So the occasional Tentacools and Carvanas were actually really welcome. Oh, we got some berries down there, and those white platforms you see there are platforms you can cross using the Acrobike, which I don't have quite yet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get to Fortree and gain the right to fly around, and after that I'm going to go back to Mobile to get the Acrobike and go into that path, because I'm pretty sure there is at least one item waiting for me on the other side of that river. But yeah, I did all this with a good rod, and regardless of what any site says, you are not forced to use the super rod. You can do it with any rod. Whoa, that sounded a lot more dirty than I thought it would when I actually said that phrase. But anyway, the point is that you can find a Feebas with any rod, not just the super rod, because you get the— oh god, Stun Spore! Well, at least this is a reminder that I need to level up Blaziken a bit. Ha! Stupid! I'm immune to Poison Powder, and even if I weren't, I'm still paralyzed, so I'm immune to it anyway. But, yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I used the good rod because you only find the super rod, I think. It's in Moss Deep, which is the city where the 7th badge is, so that's in quite a ways, and I didn't want to wait that long before being able to use a Milotic. And as I said, that Milotic is going to be the result of a breeding chain. I've got that Spinda from Route 113. I found the Feebas that I needed, and I'm also going to need a female Psyduck from the Safari Zone in order to complete the chain. And on top of that, I will also need to make Pokeblocks of certain types of berry. What I'm going to use is going to be the Wiki Berry. And to get a Wiki Berry, I needed to restart a few times so that my trainer ID would finish in a 1 or a 6. That is a lot of effort to get one team member. But believe me when I say it's worth it, because a Milotic with Hypnosis is extremely valuable for in-game. So as I said I'm putting Blaziken as my lead because, well, it stopped raining for 1, and for 2, a lot of the late game when I go past Lily Cove, it's going to be on the water, and Blaziken is going to suck horribly in that segment, so I'm going to go ahead and make it gain a few levels right now, especially since before I even think of going past Lily Cove, I'm going to have to grind my Milotic a bit too. Obviously, I'm going to grind it a bit with the wild Pokemon and maybe trainer rematches too, all off-screen of course, and after that I'm going to train it some more in Mount Pyre in the segment of Route 123 that I didn't visit because I couldn't get up those ledges. Again. And by the way, in case you didn't know, Milotic was named after a Greek sculpture called Venus de Milo. Well, actually, the original name of the sculpture was Aphrodite de Milos, but Venus being the Roman equivalent of the Greek goddess Aphrodite, well, it came to be known as Venus de Milo. But I don't know why that's the case, even though the statue was built by the Greeks. So it should have been known as Aphrodite de Milos, but I guess those Romans wanted all the credits to themselves, so they decided to call it Venus de Milo, and it stuck. And as for that shiny I caught earlier, you know what? I'm thinking about this now. It happened way back at the beginning of the video. So I can only imagine that the first 10 or 15 comments are going to be a war of people trying to be the first to get to congratulate me on finding a shiny. I'm calling it right now. There will be like 1 or 2 minutes between when the video is done processing and the first comment. Guaranteed. All in order to get a first comment that's actually pretty well disguised, actually, because you have every right to congratulate me on getting a shiny. After all, it's a rather rare occurrence, but it doesn't matter, no matter the reason. If you try to get a first comment, you're a dork. Simple as that. So I'm calling it right now. The first commentator is going to be that kind of dork. And maybe the second and the third, depends on how closely grouped they are together. But I get the feeling this video is going to be particularly good fodder for first commentators. And you know what? I think that before this shiny Magikarp that I caught, I had never found a shiny before without the help of the Poké-Radar in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Oh wait, no! That's not true! Because I remember, now that I'm seeing a Linoon, I remember that I actually caught a shiny Linoon in a previous Emerald playthrough. But other than that, nope, never found one. Of course, I found a few using the Poké-Radar. I found 3 shiny Metatites on the same chain, 2 of which were modest, believe it or not, and I'm not making this up. 2 out of the 3 shiny Metatites were modest. And I also found a shiny Geodude using the Poké-Radar, and I think that's it, actually. No shiny Beldum, of course. And that Linoon is going to be the last thing I kill in this video, and in the next one we're actually going to reach the Weather Institute, where those dastardly Aquas are up to no good.